Hi there, folks. Kevin Dooling here with the South Wasco County District School District as the chairman of the board currently. Um, this channel is typically my market channel for my markets, for my grain clients. And for those grain clients that are subscribed, this is not your day to listen to the channel. this will put just not what you want to hear. So, but as for the communities involved in the South Wasco School District, I'm producing this to try and get you caught up on all the activity that's been going on this last 9 months with the school district. We faced a largest financial storm we've ever seen, and had to let some people go we didn't want to let go, and it's been very difficult for the community and the district. So and everybody involved. So I thought it'd be good to kind of explain the situation, what happened, as well as some of the things that are still in place that we're moving ahead with. So I need to make it clear that this is just me talking. This is not my views do not necessarily represent the views of the school board or the administration. This is just me talking here. So if I say something that you have an issue with or counteract, you're going to have to talk to me on this, because board members have not been briefed that I was putting this out there. So, and they may have a different view. Okay, so we've had a couple things happen. Like I say, we've had 4 major hits on the budget this year, and we've always been as conservative as possible in our budgeting to try and hope we never had to use those. And I'm fortunate we were, because if we were one of the more aggressive districts that runs their budget down a lot every year, then we would have been in big trouble. We still were in pretty big trouble, but at least we had a buffer. So our total budget typically is around $6 million. And the first big cut was we graduated a class of 30 and we brought in a kindergarten class this year of 8. So that's a 22 net drop, and it totals up around about $500,000 plus or minus. These are rough figures. So there's a $500,000 cut right there to a $6 million budget. Second thing that hit us was the feds eliminated all help, all funding out of their last bill, and that was another couple $100,000. So strike one, strike two, we're almost $750,000 down from our $6 million budget. Third one, we had contract negotiations. It was a pretty ambitious one. That did cost the district some money, and in the end, some positions. So that hurt as well. The last thing that hit was Oregon on their allotment to us. Told us to, on the 25-26 allotments, they told us to budget in 90%. Being a conservative district, we went with 85, and the reality came in at 81. And that's hurting all the districts. And so that was another 300 there, 200 to 300 there. So, which meant more positions. We had it used to be our auditing firm, but we have to get audit every year, and the auditing firm we had found about $900,000 in the building fund, and our staff the administration couldn't figure out where they were getting that, so we checked with them 4 or 5 times, and they promised us it was good. He says that $900,000 is there, you can move that. And so we were in the belief that we could move that around a little bit and keep some staff, keep from having to cut more staff. The administration never felt good about it. They just like, you know what, I just don't believe that money's there. So they did one more. We hired an outside financial lady to sit in with us for a little bit, and she says, no, that $900,000 is not real. There's no way. And which kind of confirmed the administration's thoughts. So we had to, that was an I mean, we didn't expect that money. I mean, it wasn't there to begin with. We didn't think it was, but we were hoping it was. And after the I guess the sixth audit from a different auditor, they realized no, that's not there. And so thank goodness we didn't spend that. And we have parted ways with that auditing firm, looking for a new auditing firm. So anyway, that is just is the emotional roller coaster. So unfortunately, we lost some very, very strong staff members, very strong, very talented people, and you just hate to see them go, especially in a small community. You just hate to see them go. That's been wearing on all of us. Everybody involved wears especially on the ones who had to get let go. It disrupts their lives, and then everybody who had to either knew them or it's the same. It's miserable. So we've got a pretty good storm going against public schools altogether. So Portland, I think, lost 300 to 400 full-time teachers. Salem lost 100. Eugene a bunch. Bend a bunch. There were quite a few schools that closed because they can't handle these cuts. See, these cuts that are coming to us are coming to them too. The enrollment part was, the graduating a class of 30 and bringing in 8 was probably, that's an extra one we had that they may not have. But every school in the state's facing a lot of similar things. They all got cuts from the Fed. They all got the Oregon allotment below, and overall public school enrollment is down and continues to drop for various reasons. So that's the negative part, and I guess one of the other reasons I wanted to put this out there is we've still got a lot of good things in place despite what we've gone through here, despite taking a $6 million budget and turning it into a $5 million budget. Excuse me a sec. We've still got some pretty strong stuff in place that a lot of people probably don't know. For one, is our college credit system is big. We've got up to 28 credits you can get in-house, and we had one lady max that out, plus had some help with more, and so she's a year and a half of school ahead by the time she got out of high school. It's a phenomenal program. We've teamed up with our local community college, and so for our honors diploma candidates, they have access to a lot of college courses that most people have to wait and spend money on their own, and they get these through us, and it's a fantastic program. The next big program we've got is our CTE program. It's some of the technology and stuff that we can put in front of people, and the trade work and the creativity. I wish I could take you on a tour. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll take you guys on a tour. I'll do a YouTube tour of what we can actually do down there so you can see it. I think that'd be popular. But we've got some phenomenal staff and some phenomenal equipment that, man, there's a lot of opportunity down here. And so that's exciting. Some pretty big career pathways that come out of this. So anyway, so that's on the plus. Another thing that I really like is one of the requirements we have for you to graduate here is you have to stand in front of a panel of peers as well as local business leaders. You have to sit in front of them and tell them what you're doing after high school and how you're going to do it. Are you going to college, and how are you able to pay for it, or how are you financing it? How are you? There's a host of questions. It's if you're going to the trade schools, or if you're going to trades, what's your direction? Where are you going? And it forced. This last year we graduated all 30 out of 30, and it forced all of them to get a plan. And so every single one of them came out with a formal plan. And I think that's pretty big. I didn't have to do that when I went through. It might have helped, but like I say, every graduate has to sit through that and get through that interview. And I think we're setting up a pretty good pathway to succeed there. I don't think there's a lot of schools that do that. I don't think there's any other 1A schools, probably 2A, maybe even 3, that have quite the technical help that we have here, as well as the college credit system as high as we have it. So there's some pretty big pluses we have going. It's just, but overall, it's just a tough time. Economically, I think we're all being squeezed right now. I think we all feel it. We've had pretty bad inflation for the last 6 years, and it's taken a toll on families, especially so with kids, because they're not cheap to raise. So anyway, there's some good and bad in this, and I hope, like I say, I hope you guys will get something out of this. And please, when you have questions, please, you can find me. I'm easy to find. You can find my phone number, my email's on the website, as well as other board members. Please contact them, talk to them. I'm sure they'd be happy to talk to you. And you can also talk to the staff as well. Talk to the admin, ask them questions. And it's just a tough time, and I believe we'll get through it. It's just been an exceptionally tough 9 months, and I know having to let as many people go as we did really left a mark on our small community, which is a real bummer. And hopefully we can bring these people back and a better time. There's a couple things that we waited on with as much pressure as Portland and Bend and Eugene were having. We expected as much pressure as they were giving Salem. We expected Oregon to jump into their stability fund. They've got a $1.5 billion stability fund for times just like this to submit to schools. And if they would have given us our share out of that, we wouldn't have had to fire anybody. But they chose to not go into that, and probably because it's an election year. And so we got caught in the grinder of that. But anyway, we'll see. We got a new biennium next year, and I assume whatever governor we have this next year has got to take a long, hard look at that, because schools are going to continue to suffer. So anyway, that's all I've got for now. Like I say, if you have questions, please reach out. I'd love to talk to you. Thank you.